Welcome to Underworld UK, where Britain's darkest stories are brought to light. From the gritty streets of gangland London, Liverpool, Manchester and Birmingham, from Curtis Warren to the Cray twins to county lines and modern-day true crime, we cover everything. Bringing you new videos every week. Subscribe so that you'll be notified when the next video is put out.
Paedo rocker star Ian Watkins has been murdered in jail in a brutal knife attack by another cum. The ex-Lostprophets frontman was ambushed and had his throat slashed after inmates were unlocked from the cells this morning. Police and medics raced to Wakefield prison, West Yorkshire, dubbed Monster Mansion, but the stricken former singer could not be saved. Watkins, 48, who was serving 35 years for a string of child sex offences, including the attempted rape of a baby, is the most high-profile inmate to be killed in a UK jail in living memory. His attacker, who justice sources said had been identified, is understood to have slashed his jugular, causing Watkins to die from blood loss. And the source said Watkins has been killed in the most brutal way possible, and the attack was shocking even by prison standards. He was targeted by another inmate who shanked him in the neck. Guards were nearby and raced to the scene pretty quickly, but there was nothing they could do and they couldn't save him. They went on to say, "It was a horrific scene, with blood everywhere and alarms and ambulances going off. Police and ambulances were called and the whole prison were locked down with all cons confined to the cells. Watkins was airlifted to hospital, but they could not save him." He's been attacked a few times inside Wakefield over the last few years, so perhaps this was just a matter of time. The bloke who got him this time went for his jugular, and it looks like a pre-planned attack. Watkins was obviously high profile and in for the most disgusting crimes, so that meant he was walking around with a target on his back, and this has happened. Despite who he was, it was really shocking and gruesome. Experienced officers and a lot of the other prisoners were in absolute shock after what happened, and a lot of them saw the awful scene. The inmate who attacked him used a shank knife, and he was apprehended pretty quickly. There was not much doubt about who had done it. We told how in August 2023, while serving his sentence, the Paedo rocker star was taken to hospital after being stabbed in another prison attack. At that occasion, he was grabbed by 3 other lags who attacked him and left him with neck injuries. A siege at the jail only ended when a tornado team of riot officers hurled stun grenades into the cell to free Watkins. The file rocker, who was jailed for 13 horrific sex offences against children, had life-saving treatment at Leeds General Infirmary. That stabbing was sparked by a row over guitar lessons and anger over jail visits from a younger girlfriend of Watkins. Violence is rife in UK prisons, although murders are rare. In 2 recent cases, convicted murderer John Mansfield was killed in high security HMP Whitemoor in Cambridge in April, and Dennis Green, 42, died after being attacked at Fossyway Prison in Leicestershire in August. Inspectors found levels of violence at Wakefield had increased by 62% since 2022 in a report published last month. It found many inmates were scared to leave the cells and felt unsafe around the growing cohort of younger prisoners. Category A Wakefield, which holds 630 lags, had been dubbed Monster Mansion due to the number of high-profile killers, terrorists and sex offenders it holds. Its inmates included Roy Whiting, who killed Sarah Payne, Jeremy Banger and paedophile killer Mark Bridger. It also holds cop-killing Al-Qaeda terrorist Kamal Borgas, serial rapist Reynard Sinaga and child killer Mick Philpott. We told in March Al Philpott, 69, who killed 6 of his 17 children in an arson house blaze, was left battered and bruised in a beating at Wakefield. And the next prisoner at the jail faces court for an alleged attack at Wakefield on killer paedophile Sidney Cook, 98, the oldest inmate in a UK jail. The Sun and Sunday told in 2017 how depraved Watkins had 3 groupies who were allowed to visit him in jail. The trio of goth girls made regular trips to see him, and he was spotted holding hands with one her and kissing her. Watkins found fame in 2000 with Lostprophets, with the Welsh band going on to sell more than 3.4 million albums worldwide. The out-rock and new metal group were founded by Watkins and guitarist Gaze in Pontypridd, Wales in 1997. They had 4 top 10 UK albums and charted with singles including Last Train Home, Rooftops and Burn Burn. Watkins was the poster boy of the band, which attracted a huge cult following. But the rock world was stunned by his arrest in trial, which saw him described in court as a determined and committed paedophile. Watkins preyed on fans, including 2 who offered up their babies to be abused by their idol. In March, bandmate Gaze, 50, broke his silence on the Watkins case, saying online, "It's been 13 years since my band ended in the most unimaginable circumstances, and it's still painful to think about. Things could have been so different. I don't talk about it much, but I put everything into that band, and it should have lasted a lifetime. I never really wronged anyone my whole life, so it seemed like the ultimate punishment." Watkins was charged in 2012 and sentenced the following year. The vile ex-rocker, an ex of Fern Cotton, was jailed in 2013 after a shocking trial for offences, including the attempted rape of a baby. He changed his plea to guilty at the beginning of the trial and admitted to trying to rape a fan's baby and plotting to rape another infant. The fiend filmed himself committing sex acts on a baby boy the day after Lostprophets' final album Weapons was released. The fiend claimed at Cardiff Crown Court he couldn't remember the sickening attacks because he was a heavy user of crystal meth at the time. His two co-defendants, fans who were the mothers of victims, received sentences of 14 and 17 years in prison. In 2014, he was refused the right to appeal against his 35-year sentence. Lord Justice Christopher Pitchford said his offences were of such shocking depravity that long sentence was called for. He said the original trial judge had correctly gauged the seriousness of his offending and that the term was not manifestly unjust. In 2019, Watkins was convicted of having a banned mobile phone in prison and had another 10 months added to his sentence. He used the device to communicate with scores of warped female fans from his cell. The phone was found concealed on him after an ex-girlfriend tipped off jail bosses.